I can assure you that I have showered and shaved today, and am wearing pants. So let's get poppin'. From Hollywood, it's the world-famous Mojo Elliott with another action-packed adventure of the Rat's Ass Podcast. And today, my producer, Fleabag, is celebrating his birthday. So happy birthday, Fleabag. And no, I'm not going to sing to you. I don't sing the birthday song. I just move my lips when everybody else is singing it. But just sit there, eat your ice cream and your Fruity Pebbles. Okay? You've done your job. Now let me do mine. But happy birthday, big guy. All right, have you joined the Rat Nation or Rat's Ass Podcast Listener Club yet? I mean, it's your chance to pick up some pretty cool stuff. So go check it out at ratsasspodcast.com. Are you freaking out over the stock market? My God, stop it. Stop it. The Democratic dipshittery's got you believing the sky's falling and we're all going to go broke. It's not going to be like the pandemic, March 20th, 2020, when everything was at an all-time low. It's not going to happen. You know, Orange Man bad, tariffs, oh my God, bad, oh my God, sky's falling. We got the Republicans on the run. Democratic dipshittery, that's all that is. Now, let's talk about the stock market for a minute. I want to be that voice of reason, the voice of calm for you. Okay, first of all, if you can't read a P&L, a profit and loss statement, and you're not willing to listen to quarterly calls for stocks that you want to buy or own to get guidance, shouldn't be in the stock market. If you're not a patient person, you shouldn't be in the stock market. Okay, now I used to have a Series 7 securities license, and I got this simply because I wanted to teach myself how to trade stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and limited partnerships. I wanted to be able to go get educated. And I'm not a licensed professional anymore, haven't been for a long time, so I'm not going to recommend stocks to buy. But I will share some principles with you that I think will help keep you calm and relaxed. Now, like I said, if you're not a patient person, you probably shouldn't be in the stock market. In fact, Warren Buffett, you might have heard the guy's name before, he says when the best time to buy stocks is when there's chaos in the market. So right now there's chaos. News moves markets. That's what's moving markets right now, the Democratic dipshittery that's going on. Okay? People who think they know how to buy and sell stocks, they're all freaking out. They're talking the market down because they want to get a better buy-in price. Well, everybody that's impatient, they wash you out. You sell out, you lose out, and you're done. That's how these guys on Wall Street make money. That's why they get 10, 20% on their money. They know how to freak you out a little bit. So again, Buffett teaches patience. Buy stocks when there's chaos. So how do you know when there's chaos? Well, there's a thing called the VIX, V-I-X. You want to follow it. It's called the Fear Index. Now, it's not foolproof. But over the years, I've noticed some tendencies that I'll share with you. Usually when the VIX, like over the past few days, it got close to 30. So when it gets to 30, that's chaos mode. That's when all of a sudden people are going to start freaking out and maybe selling more. So you don't go in and shoot your whole load. You start buying small blocks of stock at that time and give yourself a raise because you should be buying dividend-paying stocks, by the way. You can have a few on the side that don't pay dividends that you might. Some people will day trade, quarterly trade, annually trade, whatever it is. But that's what you want to look at. You want to pay attention to the VIX. Because when it's at 30 and it's coming down slowly, that means your money is earning at that point. You're going to see stocks go back up. So watch that. VIX, the VIX. All right. Next thing, don't look at the points down. Look at the percentages. Okay. Look at the Dow, the S&P, the NASDAQ, and Russell 2000. So what? Dow's down from 45,000 to 4,100 points. That's 10%. Doesn't sound so bad now, does it? That's probably chaos mode. That's probably time to buy, according to Mr. Warren Buffett. Okay, that's when I would do it. I look at the VIX, it's at 29.30, and say, yeah, let's go out and buy 50 shares of stuff that I already own that has a good balance sheet on it. Because those are going to come back quicker. That's what the folks on Wall Street are going to buy, by the way. I guarantee you Nancy Pelosi sitting there right now licking her lips like I can't wait to buy some stock. I'm going to make a lot of money. We wash out all the dumb people. That's what she's thinking right now. So don't fall for it. Be patient. Be patient. All right, Elon Musk is getting attacked by the deep state. I have no doubt about it. I mean, they want him out. He's cutting out their kickback funds. It's obvious. And they're also using it as an opportunity because, you know, Elon Musk used to be one of them, so now they've turned on him. Remember, climate change, Teslas are great, electric vehicles, get a Tesla, get an electric vehicle. Remember all of that? Now he got tired of their Democratic dipshittery and decided to go independent. He's not a Republican. He's probably an independent, I believe. regardless, he doesn't side with the Democratic dipshittery anymore, so now they hate him. Donald Trump was a Democrat at one time. They hate him when he turned Republican. Look what they did to RFK Jr., Tulsi Gabbard, all former Democrats. Now they're evil people. They left the cult. Yeah. The Soros Democrats, they're a cult. That's a cult. And that's what they say about the GOP and MAGA. They're a cult. No, they're blaming others for what they are. That's what they do. That's what they do. But I told you up front, it wasn't going to be peaches and cream. I told you it wasn't going to happen overnight, that things would turn around. If you don't remember, you haven't listened to the podcast where I talked about this, Jimmy Carter really screwed up our economy back in the late 70s, early 80s. And it took Ronald Reagan almost 3.5 years to get it back on track. And Joe Biden's economy was a hell of a lot deeper than Jimmy Carter's, all right? So it's going to take some time for it to turn around. But in the meantime, you're going to get so much Democratic dipshittery that it's designed just to wear your ass out, just to wear you down. So the best thing you can do is probably just turn off the frickin' news and go live your life, for crying out loud. But I thought it was pretty cool that Trump bought a Tesla yesterday to show his solidarity for Elon Musk. And he didn't just go get a cheapie either, man. He got the 2025 Tesla S model. It's a 4-door coupe that goes 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds. I would like to be in the car with Donald Trump, 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. I bet if he was driving, he'd be like, somebody else drive this damn thing and just let go of the wheel. Might have a heart attack. But because that sucker's fast, there's no doubt about it. But it was a beautiful red with a white leather interior, kind of red, white, and Trump is what it looked like to me. Sticker price for that S model is around $100K in that neighborhood. But looking at some of the other models, when I used to look at Teslas maybe a decade ago, they were all over $100,000, $125,000. Now they've come down considerably. Like I said, the S model around $100,000. Cybertruck's the most important thing, most expensive thing. Tesla's selling right now, but the other models you can find them for $45,000 to $75,000, depending on what the dealers are selling them for. But for crying out loud, stop messing with people who own Teslas. Stop bombing the dealerships. This is why our insurances are so damn high, because of you jerk-offs burning things and rioting and all this crap. You just make life miserable for us who just want to live a normal life, for crying out loud. Jesus Christ. All right, let's play some head trauma. I know, listening about stocks and bonds and limited partnerships and real estate, all that good stuff, it is kind of like watching grass grow or watching paint dry, isn't it? But man, it's nice when you see it on the balance sheet. All right, let's play the head trauma. We're going to play the secret sound today. The last time we did this, it was dice, and I couldn't believe how many different people emailed in and said, I did not know that. It didn't sound like dice. That's the thing about this game. It never sounds like what you think it is. All right, so listen close and tell me what this sound is. All right, one more time. What do you think that is? Keep in mind, sometimes it sounds like something and it's probably not. Sounds easy. What do you think it is? I'll have the answer coming up for you on the podcast, and I'll post it on the Rat's Ass Podcast Facebook page at ratsasspodcast.com. Are you ready for some loose behavior? Yeah, I think after that, I'm going to stand up and stretch real quick, because after that monologue, oh my God, I almost put myself to sleep, for crying out loud. All right, let me have a little, I'm drinking ice today, by the way. It's a good sparkling ice drink, 0 sugar, lots of vitamins, antioxidants. It's pretty good. This flavor is peach nectarine. Peach nectarine, pretty good stuff. Yeah, and who can't use an antioxidant if it's not me? All right, here's what's happening on the Rat's Ass Podcast X feed. Simply Samantha posted this one on X. She said, if you could, which one of these choices would you eliminate from the world? Taxes, fast food, Democrats, or Donald Trump? All right, I'm going to go worst to first here for you. Who do you think was fourth? I bet you're thinking taxes. No, everybody loves taxes, right? No. 11% said Donald Trump. 12% said they would like to eliminate fast food from the world. Now it's down to taxes or Democrats. What do you think people would like to eliminate most? You listen to this podcast, and then you know why I put this study in here. 22% said taxes. And 55% said they would eliminate the Democrats. There you go. I feel sorry for Democrats. I'm starting to feel sorry for them, and I can't do it. All right, let's get into today's celebrity cheese. Wheel of Fortune's Vanna White, who was 68, just got her first tattoo. And her daughter Gigi did the ink. She is I guess she's a graphic artist, does tattoos. So she decided to be her daughter's guinea pig, I guess. Now, there's a rumor circulating, and it's not true. Vanna did not get a tramp stamp of Pat Sajak. Let's put that to bed. But we did hear that her esthetician claims that when Vanna shows up for a bikini wax, that her vagina looks like Willie Nelson. God, what a visual that is. All right, Rosie O'Donnell, who was a very good comedian once upon a time, TV talk show host. Maybe you watched her show. She played the meat-eating, beer-drinking, rotund third baseman for the Rockford Peaches in the movie A League of Their Own with Tom Hanks and Madonna. Well, she kept her promise. If Trump got reelected, she would leave America. She moved to Ireland. I got to give her props for it, because how many celebrities said, if Trump gets reelected, I'm leaving the United States of America? Nobody really gave a rat's ass, but you know what? Rosie was serious, so we got to give her props that she left and got the hell out of here. She was somebody who felt very strongly and lived up to it. So congratulations, Rosie. I'm raising a glass of Murphy's Irish Stout right now to you. Congratulations. You were true to your word. But now you can't come back, sister. You can't come back. Now, you know what? It wouldn't surprise me if Rosie's really living in Ireland, Indiana. It's about 120 miles from Indianapolis. I mean, she wouldn't be lying. She has moved to Ireland, right? Yeah, she is a comedian. I'm just throwing it out there. All right, fans of One Tree Hill, that ran from 2003 to 2012, is being revived. And according to Deadline, Sophia Bush has changed her mind and will rejoin the cast. Now, the show will pick up 20 years after it ended. Even though it's only been about 12, they're going to suspend disbelief, and it's going to be 20 years later. Now, I admit it, I was a big One Tree Hill fan once upon a time because it had a basketball angle to it, as you know. And for years, the cast has rejected the idea of reviving the show. But, you know, it's kind of funny. When all the other opportunities dry up for an actor, you know what? They always want to come back to Daddy. They always run from Daddy. They always want to run from the show that made them famous. But when they can't get a job anymore, it's like, Daddy, help! And they always want to run back to Daddy. So I would tell actors, why don't you embrace the roles that made you famous? Embrace those. Love those. We've heard so many times how people run from Daddy, and you always end up going back and you look a little foolish. Kind of like bands. We're on our farewell tour. 9 years later, yeah, it's our final farewell tour. All right, ESPN blabbermouth Stephen A. Smith. I'm pretty sure the A stands for a-hole, but he has reversed course and is now saying that his dust up with LeBron James over comments he made about LeBron's son, Bronny, was bullshit and weak. Said LeBron was bullshit and weak. I'll tell you what was weak and bullshit, Stephen A. Your 1.5 points per game scoring average in college. I'll give you props for playing college ball, but you averaged 1.5 points per game. I mean, my God, even Jay Bayless averaged 8. But who gives a rat's ass anyway? All right, here comes the Rat's Ass Podcast email from our Gmail. This is where you email your questions, comments, and observations to me at ratsasspodcast. Let me try that again. Back up. ratsasspodcast@gmail.com. I always get confused with the website address. ratsasspodcast.com. You can still hit us through the email there, too. And I do respond to them here on the cast. No topic is off the table. It's impossible to offend me. We do look for the most outrageous and salacious emails, though. Just to give you a heads up on that, I do not read your emails in advance. My producer, Fleabag, happy birthday, Fleabag. He's going to go out tonight and have some Fleabaggery, I bet. Yeah, a little who's your daddy action with the wife, huh? A little who's your daddy, Yeah, enjoy that ice cream and Fruity Pebbles, my friend. Anyway, he forwards me your name, where you're from, and rewrites them so I can respond rapid fire and on the fly. All right, John T. from Galveston, Texas wrote, I laughed at your tale about Golden Ass. Ah, good, I'm glad you liked it. It's a fun tale. I had a similar situation with my family when we went to Daytona Beach on vacation, except the person I caught in the back seat with some dude was my sister. I'm still traumatized by it. Boy, God, I hear you. I can't imagine, God, seeing your sister up with her knees up by your ears, what that would do to you. I bet you can't watch Pornhub, can't you? Becky S. from Charlotte, North Carolina said, you were right when you said girls give it up. when they go away on vacation. Every spring, I would hook up with 2 to 3 guys during spring break, and I will take that to my grave. I will take my secrets to the grave. Well, I'll tell you what, Becky, you're lucky Charlotte's a big town because you just let about 7 people know your secret. All right, Mike K., Huntsville, Alabama, said, my sister has a dilemma. Oh, I love sister dilemmas. And I want to get your take. Her ex-husband is now interfering with her current marriage because he wants her back. The dilemma is he's a loser, and she's thinking about leaving her current husband to go back with him. Should I talk to her about it or keep out of it? Oh, my God. Mike, it's always dangerous to try and get up in other people's business, whether it's family or friends, man. You know, unless they ask for your advice, part of me says stay out of it. The other part is, if you're close with your sister, maybe you need to have a talk. So I would recommend, if you are close with her, to kind of remind her of all the reasons their relationship ended in the first place. Give her the old leopards don't change their spot speech. You're familiar with that one, I'm sure. You can always Google it. I feel for her current husband, though. Probably doesn't have a clue what she's about to do. God bless, man. It's always the blind. They get hit blindsided like that. Unbelievable. Hope it works out. All right, Thomas F. from Tucson, Arizona. I know what you're going to say. I shouldn't date women I work with. But I ended up sacking up with a coworker after a company event last week, but we do like each other. Should we come clean with our relationship or try to hide it? Well, it's been a week. Why don't you give the relationship a little bit more time, see if it's see what's going to last. She might get tired of you quick, man. You never know. Or you might get tired of her. So I'd give it a little bit of time, see if you're going to have a relationship here. But as far as work goes, that depends on your company policy on in-office relationship. If it's a fireable offense, one of you needs to go find another job if it is going to turn into a relationship. And if it's not, then coming clean is optional. Just know that if the office relationship ever gets back to your bosses, boy, they're going to start fidgeting around like a one-legged cat trying to bury shit on a frozen pond, because they know if your relationship blows up, someone is probably going to get fired anyway. So I would tread lightly. Tread very, very lightly. All right, Sophia G. from Bristol, England says, what makes you world famous? I've never heard of you until I found your website when I was searching for rat traps. Really? That's funny. All right, well, it's tongue-in-cheek. I'm not world famous. That's why I say I'm world famous. It's all tongue-in-cheek. But I will say we got 75% of our listeners come from the United States of America and 25% from other parts around the world. So maybe we're getting there, but it's kind of a tongue-in-cheek thing. You know, I say I'm world famous because I'm not, Sophia. So there you go. All right, if you have any observations, comments, or questions, send them to ratsasspodcast@gmail.com. All right, here's your head trauma answer. Listen close. What do you think this sound is? If you guessed a deck of cards, you're correct. I made it easy for you. But if you missed it, go see a doctor about your head trauma. Get well soon. All right, I've got to go rebuild a Tesla, but I do have one more thing for you today. Did you know 7 in 10 men and women wear the same pair of underwear more than one day in a row? God, I hope they at least turn them inside out. Now, here's what I want you to remember. The next time you're eating out, think about this. The person serving your food could be wearing 3-day underwear. Do you think they wash their hands? Ugh, my God. Sorry, I put that thought in your head. All right, I've got a few shout-outs from our social media followers today. TikTok to Stacy Panna, John Durant, Diesel Dad 77, and Big Red Chicken is following us on TikTok. God, do I feel good. The Big Red Chicken is following us. X, Melody Brewer, Giovanni Klaus, Ezra Sauer, and Lisa Clinton, and Facebook and Instagram. The folks at Remote News, Sue Berry, and DJ Willie Will following us on Facebook, Instagram. Thanks for your ears, guys. I appreciate it. All right, that's it for this episode of the Rat's Ass Podcast. Be sure to connect at ratsasspodcast.com. You can read our socials, listen to podcasts, join Rat Nation, read the blog, all kinds of fun stuff there. Everything you need, nothing you don't. Right now, you can check out, I think, the best argument you're ever going to read about why LeBron James is the GOAT. You know, it's the big debate. Who's better, LeBron James or Michael Jordan? I've always said it's LeBron James, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and then Michael Jordan. But I'm going to make an argument that I don't think you can refute. Go check it out. Why LeBron James is the GOAT on the Rat's Ass Podcast blog. We'll do this again on Friday, March 14th, the day before the Ides of March. Take care of each other, and thanks for stopping by the Rat's Ass Podcast.